All right, we're back again for a glorified scrimmage with a trophy at the end of it. Georgia taking on Alabama, I guess for seeding, I guess, in conference pride. Alabama's banged up, uh, probably worse than Georgia if you go look at the injury report, and there's still a lot of questionables. I don't know. I'm really getting into it now, but I don't know how Jam Miller's going to play. Seeing that injury that happened against Auburn, but he's listed as questionable. I don't think he's going to play, but he very well could. So Alabama and Georgia both banged up. Both teams are extremely banged up. And I guess this is for a first round bye.
Yeah.
So, whoa, woo, wow. All right. So, I gotta tell you, there's not a lot of juice to this game. I'm not. Obviously, I would love to beat Alabama, and do something that hasn't been done in Georgia football history in the SEC championship game era. It hasn't happened since '81 and '82. That Georgia's won back to back, or I guess it hasn't happened since the early '80s, right? They won 3 in a row. So, hasn't happened. So I guess that would be a good thing. But I don't know. I don't really. I guess the players are excited, and Kirby is trying to sell everyone on it. I gotta tell you, I don't really care.
Well, here's what I would say. I'm not personally excited about it, except to say this: Georgia's got to find a way to beat Alabama. Kirby has to find a way to beat Alabama, and I say this seemingly every time we play them because of the injuries. Overton is also out, by
Yeah,
the way, and I think that was
traitor.
a surprise. And so he made a key play in the first game of the season. So I think it's critically important for Georgia to go into the playoffs, having beaten Alabama. I think it's going to be a huge boost to the confidence level. And frankly, I think Georgia is the better team than Alabama. I think Georgia's gotten better. I know I've been reluctant to say that throughout the season, but I think their defense has certainly turned the corner. I know the Tech game didn't look good offensively, but I think they did in a lot of ways, I think they did exactly what they wanted to do in that game. So I'm not, I'll kind of throw that one out. I think Georgia has improved all the way around, and I don't think Alabama has. So,
Alabama's been
but
on a
that,
decline. Not
but that,
much.
But that doesn't mean anything when they play, for whatever reason, when Alabama plays Georgia, we get their best game. So I fully expect that again. So my opinion is now that we've got to play it, fuck it, light it up. Let's see what happens. I know you and I talked about it, and I saw this coming as soon as I saw Georgia or Texas A&M lose. I'm like, shit, we may have to play Alabama 3 times this year.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing that's kind of crazy. I think I talked about this last year with the SEC championship, where it was Texas instead of Alabama. Now this is a little bit different with Georgia won the first 2 games, but I think I asked this question whenever it was Georgia just won the regular season matchup, not the SEC. I have the same. By the way, side note, have the same feeling I have going into this game as I did the last year's SEC championship. Like, okay, like we'll see what happens. I have no feel on the game at all, but uh, I just the reason why we all like college football is not because of the playoff. It's really dumb. The whole thing's really stupid. It's a useless exercise, and it's all for TV. And you're gonna have a team, 2 teams that could possibly play 3 times, and I don't know how that even works. I don't even understand because what tells you which team is the better team? Is it any? Are we going off on any
What?
given Saturday? Are we going off as a resume builder, as a long term thing throughout the season? That's how we should decide a national champion But for some reason, we do this useless exercise.
Head-to-head matchups don't matter, evidently, because you look at
Notre Dame and Miami.
Yeah, so those evidently don't matter. So I don't know how to answer your question. And thanks to the playoff committee, they've made it as clear as mud. So there you go.
I guess we'll get into this real quick before we get back to the game. But I watched because I'm always interested to know what is the reasoning behind stuff with the playoff committee. And it doesn't matter who's the CFP chair. They all suck because they really, for some reason,
they don't know football.
They don't. Well, that's one. Two is they take this vow where they're not going to say shit on TV and say like really benign, nothing burgers.
Generalities. Yeah.
Yeah, where they're like, well, Georgia can. They have a really balanced offense. What the fuck does that have to do with anything about rankings, dude? Like, what? I don't care about any of that, and nor does anyone else. I don't know why we do this, but I did find it interesting, and it is something to kind of think about playing in this game and the results and how to digest it, whether win or lose for Georgia. Last year, they said, well, the teams that are not playing on Saturday are not going to move at all. They can't jump up in the rankings. Now, they're making a clarifying statement saying, well, people can jump. So it's just on a whim when they want to change the rules on us. And I have no idea what that means. So if Georgia loses, do they get a first-round bye? Does Alabama get a first-round bye? Who gets byes? No one knows. And frankly, the committee has no idea either because they have no backup plan and they're running out of space to put teams in, and they're afraid to add extra, SEC teams to get 5 in. I think they're deathly afraid of putting Vanderbilt in.
I do too.
And I have
something about. Did you guys? Did you hear something about Clark Lee said if they're doing a play-in game or something, I'll be ready.
Yeah,
in 2 days
they're packing their bags on Saturday or having their bags packed on Saturday.
I mean, that's how crazy this has gotten. Now we're just going to start making up rules. Yeah, y'all play an extra game. It's like, what are we talking about? We can't just make rules up as we go along. That was out of bounds. No, it wasn't. It was inbounds. It's like a game in the backyard that you used to play.
I just don't understand this at all, and frankly, it's really hard for me to care. I care more. The great thing about college football is the regular season and every game mattering, and I care more now, I have found in the past couple of seasons, more about the regular season than I do the playoffs. Because they're not really reflective on your whole season.
Well, certainly more than the championship game. Let's say that. Conference championship, sorry. Yeah, the way it's built, there's no incentive to play in it whatsoever. So, and I think that's gonna. I think this is the death knell of conference championships. Nobody's gonna want to play in them.
No.
But I do. I mean, listen, I care about the playoffs because that's the end prize, and you've got. In today's age, I think you've got to be strategic, and I don't know if we have enough data points. Like, for example, correct me if I'm wrong, the teams that had buys last year ended up, for the most part, losing, right? Like Georgia, we had a
Oregon, bye. Georgia, Arizona State, and Penn State was the only one that won, and they lost the next week to Notre Dame.
So my point is it if you're playing well?
No, wait, no. Penn State wasn't. Who was the?
I'll let you figure that out. But my point is this: I don't know how strategically. I don't know how beneficial it is to have a bye. One would think at this time of the season, with as long as it is now, it's better to have a bye, but it didn't turn out to be that way last year. Was that an anomaly? I don't know. So it's almost like baseball where a team gets hot at the end of the year. Well, shit, if you get hot, you want to keep playing. So I don't know. There's a lot more to it, and I do care about the playoffs because otherwise, why the hell are we doing this?
Well,
But I
I
agree
care.
with you
Well,
about the regular season.
oh, yeah, go ahead.
No, that was it. I agree with the regular season, but I don't think you can say, well, I care more about the regular season than I do the playoffs. But I understand your point because it's so fucked up. They're not putting the 12 best teams in there, and it takes forever to get to the, you know what I mean, to the inevitable of who are the
Right.
two best teams. We'll probably have a pretty good idea of who the 4 top teams are after the first, you know what I mean? Like
First few
soon.
rounds.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Yeah.
before that.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Look. I think that. By the way, it was Boise State because remember they did the top champions got a bye last year. How dumb that was. So yeah,
Yeah.
every team that had a first round bye lost. 2 were de facto, but whatever. But my point is, the season is way too long. If you get a bad seed, because we for some reason we don't reseed the teams after the first round, which is unbelievably dumb. They cleaned up a little bit with the playoff and kind of reorganized it so it looks a little bit more balanced. But like if right now, if Georgia had the first, if everything held, water held, right, Georgia would play the winner of Tulane and Texas Tech. Okay, so now you spot. I think everyone would spot Georgia that win over whoever that is, and then they play Ohio State in the Final Four. I like my chances against that. So the whole thing now is a really useless exercise, and I care more about what does it mean for your season, and did the program look like it was in an uptick? I would say for Georgia from last year, huge uptick.
Yeah. No, I agree. Um, but I'd like to see him as Rick used to have finish the drill. I mean, let's
Well,
finish the season out well. I think it's more honestly. I put more emphasis on this game against Alabama because Kirby has climbed the mountain of the SEC and even national college football. But this is going to be a thorn in Georgia's side. I mean, regardless of what college football looks like over the next 5 years, chances are we're going to be playing Alabama a lot. And if we have this fucking bugaboo every time we play them in big games and just assume that we're going to come out and lay an egg, maybe that's not the way it is with the players, but there seems to be, I mean, it seems Kirby and his staff press and they have been outcoached the last, 2 times we played against DeBoer. Their
DeBoer,
coaching staff has outcoached Georgia's coaching staff, without a doubt. And I
yeah.
don't know why that is. And that cannot happen Saturday.
I dude, I don't know if it's because Kirby wants to prove something to people in Tuscaloosa and Nick Saban and wants to just impress everyone. I don't know. But as soon as they see the crimson helmets and the numbers on the side of the helmet, they go like they lose brain cells. I don't understand it, and you don't execute the things. And let's be honest, that first half in 2021 was not a good first half at all in that national championship.
Oh, Lord, no doubt, dude.
I mean,
The only
it took
thing that
them a
saved us
while.
is they couldn't score in the red zone. They couldn't score touchdowns in the red zone. Other
Yeah,
than that,
and
we got our
honestly,
asses kicked.
yeah, we would have gotten we would have gotten bludgeoned if we didn't have a good defense and their offense was off that night. So, it's just really hard for me to understand this Alabama thing. I don't get it, but as long as we're playing, until proven otherwise, I'm just going to assume that it's Charlie Brown and Alabama's Lucy, and we're just going to keep whiffing on the ball. And so, why worry about it? Because clearly nothing's going to change. Also, I have watched the 2012 SEC Championship. I watched the 2018 SEC Championship. Couldn't bring myself to watch the National Championship. And I also watched the 2023 SEC Championship. Georgia should have won that game. in 23.
Which one?
And that was the Carson Beck where we got cute. We got the ball back, stopped them, had a chance to score and win that game, and we got cute in the third quarter, Bobo. And Carson Beck fumbled and looked around and jump on the ball. So that's whenever I was out on Carson Beck. But yeah, that Georgia should have won that game. And they if they could have just stopped Milroe from running around on them, they would have won. But given that they've played twice, the defense has improved. Alabama's offense, there's something, I don't know what it is. There is something missing with this Alabama offense. That I think it's third down. Well, I think it's pass pro. I don't think they're holding up that well in pass pro, and then they can't run the ball. And if you can't, it's like Georgia last year. If you can't run the ball and you have no threat of running the ball, then their defensive linemen and linebackers are going to pin their ears back, and they're going to be rushing your quarterback. So, I feel like this is going to be whatever the over-under is, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I would take the under. I think this is going to be a slugfest. And I think Georgia's I would say Georgia should win, but again, I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not going to pick them.
I think right now Georgia is a better team than Alabama.
Yes.
Now, that doesn't mean, like I said earlier, that doesn't mean anything come Saturday. But you're right. The Alabama, that quarterback is extremely accurate.
Yeah.
And if he has time, and he's a threat to run as well, but if he has time, and he took some shots against Auburn, if he has time, he's going to deliver the ball. But the problem with Bama is if they haven't successfully been able to consistently been able to run the ball. Now they ran okay against Auburn.
Yeah, they did good against Auburn.
And Auburn's defense, for even as incompetent as the team is, they're not bad. So regardless of running back, I think if Alabama establishes the run on us, I think it's gonna be problematic. And I disagree. I think Georgia's has to score. Their offense is going to have to score over 30 points in order to win this game.
I don't think Alabama in pass coverage is all that great, so we should be okay in that regard. But Gunner's looked off 2 weeks now.
Right.
I know Charlotte was a little different, but he's off, and I'm hoping that they get him right and they have a good game plan to get him in rhythm and kind of let him play ball. Because I got to tell you, he didn't play bad against Alabama the first time around. He had a pretty good game. But Georgia ran over 200 yards on the ground, just could not get off the field defensively.
Third down, yeah.
And we turned the
Third
ball
down
over.
specifically, yeah.
Yeah.
And Georgia's gotten better at that category. That's the other early on in this season. That was my knock on Georgia is we cannot get off the field. Even look at the Ole Miss game. There was another time, but after that Ole Miss game, if you watch statistically, Georgia's gotten better.
Yeah. Yeah. So to me, the key to winning is not as always. Don't turn over the ball. It's pretty self-explanatory. And then, can we be in rhythm offensively? Do we not have lulls offensively? Starting out, putting a score together, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown, I don't care. Just 2 drives out of the 3 need to be scores. Then you get off on third down. Don't turn the ball over. Be efficient. Be in rhythm. Georgia should, if they do that, and I know I'm making it sound really simple, but if they do that, they should be okay. But that happening, I have no confidence in.
Well, me either. We can't. I can't. I shouldn't say we can't. It makes it extremely difficult if we come out and get behind like we did, and we have pretty much all throughout the year in big games. if we come out and start getting behind and have to play catch up all game long,
Especially
I just don't like it. Yeah, I just don't like our chances at all. So you're right. The fast start is going to be critical. We can't let them get out to a 10-point lead. If we do, or 14-point lead, God forbid, we're in trouble.
Yeah, that was the first time around, I think they got up 14 points, right?
Yeah.
So if that happens, you're not at home. That gets a little hairy. So, Georgia needs to score early, and they need to get a couple of stops. If they do that, they should be in business. But, again, I have no idea. Because every time, I keep going back to this, but the first time around, we both said, I'd like to go back and watch, actually. But I think we said, well, Georgia can't get in the hole like they did last time against Alabama.
I know. That's been notorious how we start.
They get into a hole. So, I don't know, but got to figure it out. This is one of your best opportunities. Alabama's momentum-wise going down. Georgia's kind of going up. So if they can put together 4 quarters and beat like they did against Texas and Mississippi State, I think Georgia's one of the hardest teams to beat in the country, if not the hardest. So, but again, does that happen? Does it not? I don't know. I don't think it does. I'm just going to be a defeatist about it.
I'm going to keep thinking that we're going to get it done. I've got, which is probably our death knell when you're Larry Munson and I'm the opposite. But
yeah, probably.
Honestly, it's like being a baseball player. So many times up to the plate, I swear to God, I think I could close my eyes and get a hit every once in a while. So Georgia's due. That's going to be my attitude going into it. Law of averages tell me we got to get them once.
The last time Georgia has beaten Alabama in Atlanta, you want to guess the year?
In Atlanta?
Yeah.
I can't even. It probably goes way back. I don't know why they would be playing in Atlanta. 50s?
Frank Sinkowicz won the Heisman that year. 1942.
Yeah.
Georgia played them in Atlanta and won. So that's the last time we beat them in Atlanta. Doesn't bode too well for us. So I don't know if we have to have like some seance where we, bury the Heisman Trophy or, burn Sinkowicz's jersey. I don't know. Something needs to happen. Maybe dig up Charlie Trippie and Frank Sinkowicz and put them out in the dome and do some seance. Black magic.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. The over-under in this game. Well, that's just wonderful. It doesn't tell you.
I'm going to say 48.
Let's see.
See how close I am.
Oh, great. ESPN. I love ESPN. For some reason, it's not giving me at all, like, over-under. I have to click through everything. The over-under is 48.5. Oh, shit.
I really didn't know that. That's where I would think it would be. 48 is what I had figured.
All right, and then Georgia's favored by 2.5, which makes sense. I'll let you go ahead and pick it.
Well, I said Georgia has to score over 30. So I'm going to go 31-21 Georgia.
Wow, Georgia wins by 10. Let me tell you something. If Georgia wins by 10, I'll be celebrating up and down Birmingham Highway. I have no well, here's the thing. Georgia's the better team. Georgia statistically should win. We get Chauncey Bowens back. Don't know about Bobo's out, but we don't know what we're doing at center.
Big thing.
That's a big thing. Ethan Barbour, he was practicing. That's a big get. Taylor coming back. They're starting to get healthy. Defensively, they've gotten better all year. But until proven otherwise, I'm not going to pick Georgia. So I'll pick Alabama 42, Georgia 17.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, what's the point anymore? I feel like you remember that guy whenever we lost to South Carolina and we were walking out of the stadium and he goes, We're Georgia. We're never gonna win anything. We're
Yeah.
cursed. That's how I feel like that guy right now. There's no. I mean, like I think in my heart of hearts they're gonna win, but I'm not gonna pick Georgia to win whenever we're doing picks because I don't have any confidence at all. None. And by the way, there was no excuse Georgia lost to Alabama in 2021, but they did. So
I would say there's no excuse for Georgia losing this year at home to
no,
Alabama.
none. They none. And I get that they were Alabama was hot at that time, and Georgia was really young and trying to figure everything out. But no excuse. So
No.
until proven otherwise, Kirby's ass is in the jackpot to me. Okay. Uh, so let's do. So Friday, there's actually two games I'm gonna watch Friday night. Only this game. By the way, if you want to watch decent college football during high school games, if you're watching high school games, watch the Kennesaw State and Jacksonville State. It's the Conference USA Championship. Kennesaw State, I think this is their second or third year in FBS, and they're already playing in a conference championship. They got a quarterback, Odom, who is really good. I don't know. He might. I think he probably will hit the transfer portal because I think Kennesaw State's head coach is going to leave, or if that hasn't been confirmed yet, I don't know. But that kid's really good, and I really wish Georgia would get him. But we have Gunner coming back, so we're probably not going to get him. But watch that. Watch Odom. He's a good quarterback. I'll take Kennesaw State. Obviously, I've talked up a lot of Kennesaw State, but
I have no idea about the Owls versus the Jacksonville State, whatever they are.
Gamecocks.
Okay, Gamecocks.
It's a foul game.
I couldn't tell.
Also, UNLV and Boise State are playing Friday. That game was decided by computers. Dan Mullen is playing for a conference championship game. Just interesting to know. All right. BYU, Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech is favored in this game. They blew the doors off of, Texas Tech is favored by 12.5. They blew the doors off of BYU last time.
So if BYU loses, they're out, right? We might as well.
They would be out. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to pick Texas Tech, and I don't know shit about that league or anything like that, except I know they don't play defense the way that the rest of the SEC and Big Ten even plays defense. So, what?
Well, I rolled my eyes because Texas Tech is supposed to have a tremendous defense. Everyone in the national media loves Texas Tech.
Okay, well, that's fine. We'll see how that plays. But I don't think BYU belongs. Frankly, I don't think Texas Tech does, and I know that's probably going to piss a lot of people off, but I don't care. So I'm going to pick Texas Tech.
I forgot there is a scenario where Georgia might, if they do lose and BYU wins, Georgia could still get a first round bye. So if I'm picking Georgia to lose, I'll pick BYU to win. That way we can get a bye. So there. I'll pull for the Mormons.
All right.
Jesus ended up in Utah. All right. Indiana, Ohio State. Again, why is this game being played? It makes no sense at all.
Totally agree.
This is the same situation as Georgia and Alabama. I don't get it. They're number one versus number two.
I would say they're being penalized because they're putting they're being asked to have a extra layer of risk compared to other people. Georgia, Alabama. Well, not Alabama. I think Alabama needs. I think they have to. I don't know. Anyway, teams playing in the championships are putting themselves at risk. Their starting quarterback gets hurt, running back. I mean, gee whiz, man. Why are they playing the game? But I'll take Ohio State.
I think this game is more important to Indiana to win. They're favored by 4. I don't think Indiana's. I don't know. I'm still. I don't know if it's because of the logo and who they are, but I'm still not 100% sold on Indiana, and I've only really watched a full game of Indiana's against Oregon. I know both teams haven't played anybody. Because of how important this game is to Indiana versus Ohio State, because for Ohio State, it's just like Georgia and Alabama. It's just another game, right, for them. They played in this game 1,000 times. I'll take Indiana to cover because I think is an important game for their
So
program.
Indiana, wait a minute, Ohio State's favored by 4.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah. I think is how much you care, and for Ohio State, winning a Big Ten title, I mean, whoop-de-doo. Same with Georgia and Alabama. Like, yeah, so what? All right. Well, not to Kirby, but to me. This is no matter what happens, this is appointment television. Duke, Virginia, ACC championship. Man, 7-5 Duke versus the 10-2 Cavaliers of Virginia. Virginia's only favored by 4, and the over/under is 57.5.
Here's what I will say before I say anything about that game. I think ACC, I just shit on whatever conference the Texas Tech's in. I'm going to shit on the ACC. I think it may be the worst out of the Big Four. I really do.
Yeah.
Neither one of these teams are worth a shit, and neither is that conference. And so I'll pick Virginia. I have no idea why, but just because I like their campus.
Thomas Jefferson. I'll take Duke. I think it's going to be very funny that you're going to have a 8-5 conference champion in the ACC. And by the way, Duke and ACC play has been unbelievable. Outside of the Tech game, they've been lights out. So I'll take Duke. I also like their quarterback, so I'll take Duke in this game. Yeah, I think it would be very funny if Duke wins. So I'm going to pick them just for the hilarity. All right, before we go, let's talk about recruiting really quickly. The Jared Curtis drama. Also, we barely touched on Daniel Harris last time, if he stuck around that long. But anyway, I'm about to sneeze. So go and take it as I sneeze.
I think a lot of people are up in arms or wringing their hands because Georgia was number 5 in recruiting, which is the lowest that Georgia's ranked, I think, since the first year Kirby got the head coaching job. But I think a lot of that has to do with the quarterback flipping at the last minute. I think, reading the tea leaves, you kind of started getting hints of that a while back. And tells me that money played a part of it, and Kirby is where he's at, and he's going to do a really good job of recruiting, as aggressively as he can, but he's not going to chase these kids about money. And if you don't want to come to Georgia and you do these types of things, I think his attitude is let's move on. It's not that big of a deal, and I think that's sort of kind of where I am. I used to pay attention a lot to the recruiting because I knew that's how you built your program, and I still believe that. But it is so corrupt, dirty, mercurial. I'm a commitment. Well, you can take that and wipe your ass. The commitment means absolutely nothing. It's whoever comes along with it. To a lot of these kids, and being able to, I think part of the job as the head coach now is filtering through and who are the kids that are, love football for the right reasons and want to be developed, and you filter through that bullshit, and then who are the ones that want, all the spotlight and are going to be divas and who are all about the money. That's hard to do, but I believe that is the art now of recruiting. And the last thing that I would say about this is being a college coach, and especially a program that's playing for conference championships and going into the playoffs, this calendar is crazy. It's crazy. So you're going into recruiting. I mean, you're recruiting, and you're also preparing for the your conference championship, and you're getting ready for the playoffs.
Yeah.
and you're dealing with the transfer portal.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have Daniel Harris who's going to transfer. And then you have to deal with. By the way, it's behind a paywall, and I'm not a subscriber because I refuse to subscribe to anywhere that employs Dane Young. I just refuse to. Doughboy. Anyway, there's a story where Jared Curtis got kicked out of something that was an official thing for Georgia. I think he was trying to recruit players to Vanderbilt. Didn't really work out. They all have their second highest player for Vandy is a 3-star. They have no offensive line. They only have one returning offensive lineman that's coming back. So good. I'm glad he made that decision. But here's the thing that really bothered me. His letter, at least it wasn't a poem this time. Shout out Raiola, who's about to hit the transfer portal. The letter, it felt like I was being broken up with and I was in high school again. Felt like I was being let down really easy by the prom king. Really, just recruiting has gotten so crazy. It's dumb. But Georgia, look, the sky isn't falling. USC had the number 1 recruiting class. Remember a couple years ago, A&M had the number 1 recruiting class, and none of those guys, half of those guys are gone. Over half. So, I wouldn't worry about it. Also, I pulled up the 2016 recruiting class, which by 24/7 is ranked number 5, which is the same that Georgia has this year. Now, the only difference is Georgia had 3 5-stars, and this year Georgia only has 1. But you want to go down the names real quick of the 2016 recruiting class?
Yeah, go through them.
All right. So the first one, the prince that was promised, honestly should have stayed. I miss him. Jacob Eason, number 1. Ben Cleveland, Miko, Isaac Nada. Shout out Julian Rochester. My back still hurts. Some guy named Loggins. Oh, I do remember him. Never played. He's from Oconee County. Chauncey Manick from Clinch County. Charlie Warner. Yeah, Charlie Warner. Tyler Clark. Javion Wims was a JUCO. Mikael Carter. Never got playing time. Elijah Holyfield, who's a 4-star. Riley Ridley. Who's he? I don't know. 3-star. David Marshall. 3-star. Stud. Let's see. Chris Barnes. Never played. Tyreek McGee. Another guy. Stud. 3-star. Brian Harrion. One of my favorites. 3-star. Tyler Simmons was on side. He was a 3-star. Solomon Kinley. You ever heard of him? 3-star. Marshall Long, who never got to play. And then, this guy, he's a no-star. Prather Hudson. Who's he? I have no idea. So, point being, everything's going to be okay. There's no reason. And also, to get so worked up about the recruiting class whenever we have now money, thanks to Jared Curtis, to go out and play in the transfer portal.
That's the other thing.
And think about the offense that's returning next year. Let's say, let's not even go down the road if Georgia wins the national championship or not, which they're very capable of doing, as long as they don't play Alabama. You got Gunner's definitely going to come back, right? Monroe Freeling and Ernest Green, there's rumors that they're coming back. Bobo's coming back. Glover and Gaston coming back. Is Micah Morris a senior?
I don't know. That's what I was about to say. I believe he's a junior or a redshirt junior.
Okay, so
I could be wrong about that. I don't know.
Again, you got another guy. Then you're gonna lose Colby Young. You're gonna probably lose Zachariah Branch. Maybe you can pay him and talk him into it, but I think he's gonna be gone. And you're also losing Noah Thomas, and you're losing Dylan Bell. But you got Taylor, C.J. Wiley, Ethan Barbour, Elias Williams, Lawson Lucky. The offense is already the bones of it pretty good. And then also you have Nate Frazier coming back, Chauncey Bowen's coming back, Bo Walker, and you got Dwight Phillips. So if Georgia can go get a wide receiver, which they tend to do in the transfer portal, get a couple of them, Georgia offensively should be in really good shape. Defensively, think about all the guys that are coming back defensively. Think about how young we are defensively. I'm not even going to sit there and name all the names because it would be a lot.
Almost the whole defense, really.
Yeah, the only one that you're going to lose is Christian Miller.
McLeod.
Jordan Hall because he,
McLeod, and what's his name? McLeod that we got from
No.
South Carolina. He's out. Oh, he's not out of eligibility. I thought he was.
No.
Okay.
Dalen Everett might go. Maybe. But Ellis Robinson's still there. DeMello Jones is still there. Zion Branch is still going to be here. Maybe he might hit the portal if his brother leaves. I don't know. Hopefully not. So KJ Bolden. So this team next year is already kind of looking like one of the better teams in the country. So there's no need to panic and worry about next year. Georgia should be okay. So let's 1 year at a time, everybody. I know there's a lot of panic about that. All right. Well, we'll be back, I guess, Sunday or Monday talking about Georgia and Alabama. Hopefully Georgia wins. Hopefully we talk about how we got the monkey off our back. I'll start the intro with a Steve Young video from NFL Films. Do you even know which one I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, well, I did it whenever prematurely, when Georgia beat Alabama in the national championship. I sent that out to a lot of people. This Steve Young at the Super Bowl, he's like, get the monkey off my back, and they pull it off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking Steve Miller.
No, not the band. Anyway, so hopefully they get that bugaboo. We'll see. I have zero confidence. So remember to like and subscribe, comment, leave a review, and then also follow us on social media at Terminus Sports _ATL on X, Instagram, and TikTok. X, if you didn't know, is Twitter. Keep subscribing, keep liking our videos. We appreciate it. And you got anything to say?
I don't. Thanks for listening.
All right.
Watching.
See you on the other side.
See ya.